Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? I'm getting in some steps here. And it's kind of breezy today, so I figured before I, you know, get my dinner together, I figured I would go and come over here and go for a walk all the way around the block and then get into making dinner for my family. So, how is everybody doing? How was your Tuesday? Hope everybody is doing great. Trying to get all my steps in. Do you guys get your steps in every day? Hey, real odds and evens, how are you doing? Look at the palm trees and the blue skies today. Today is a day that I think nobody should be allowed to be at work. Everybody should be out and about and able to be free to walk. It's too nice outside to not walk. Absolutely too nice. So we are here on Coffee Pot Bayou. If you could see that sign, I think you can see it. Okay. So we're going to take a walk so you can see down there where the palm trees are. Okay. And this is what the street down there is looking like. So we're going to walk all the way down here and up and around. I think it's nice to go for a walk for a little bit and to see the scenery. Would you like to sit in the chair? Would you like to sit in that chair and look at the water for a little bit? I was hoping I was going to see some ducks or something along the water, but nope, not yet. I'm going to walk all the way down and around. Hopefully, I can. I'm going to walk until I can't walk anymore, and we'll see how it goes. How is the springtime for everybody? Are you guys getting warm weather where you're at yet? Hope you guys are getting a chance to get some warmer conditions, more sunshine. I had a tough day, so I need a change of, you know, view, get my mind right. Because, if you don't take some time to detox your mind, you'll take out your problems or the situations or the negative energy. You'll take that out on your family, on your loved ones, and they haven't done anything to you. So I'm honestly trying my best to work on that, to not take out whatever the negative energy that I was around. I'm trying my best to not take out that negative energy out on people that I love, you know. And you have to put some work and some effort into that and not making excuses. It's nobody's um, fault, actually. Sometimes people just don't know better. So, because they don't know better, they just do whatever, treat you whatever. So, how long have I been on? 5 minutes. Um, for some reason, it's windy, warm but windy. Is that not normal in your area? Is that different for you? Um, yeah, sometimes just take a step back and refill. Yes. That's honestly what you have to do. So I'm trying my best to, like, on purpose, um, take a deep breath, to not be upset or angry with those have nothing to do with the situation. So it's hard sometimes because you'll be in this zone to be upset. And there are times where, like, we have every reason to be upset about things, but nobody around us um, has done anything. So we're the ones that have to make a choice, honestly, to change our situation, change our circumstance. Oh, I see a duck. Yay. I knew I would see a duck. Do you guys see the duck? Don't hide. Don't go under the water. Oh, it's two of them. Cool. Hey, Joe. Hey, Lynn. I see that you see the two ducks going under the bridge. I'm happy to see the ducks. Trying to get my steps in, guys. I get my steps in when I finish work, and then I fix dinner for my family, and then before I go to bed, I'll do a workout on TV. But I'm trying to be more active on purpose. You know, I don't have any reason to not be active. I don't have any reason, you know. I live in a beautiful place. There's so much that I can do, but it's honestly it's about planning, and I think it's mind over matter, to be honest. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. So, it's small little things like going for a walk and doing all the things that you need to do. And when you do what you need to do, everything will fall into place. Everything will be all right. You guys hear the birds singing for you all? Let's look over here. I see a hibiscus tree. Someone has a beautiful hibiscus plant. It's much bigger than mine, and only because also these beautiful wildflowers. This one is much bigger than mine. That one's beautiful. I love that bloom. And then there's so many others right there. But anywho, continuing on the walk. Um, but I'm trying to do so many things to make some lifestyle changes in my life. Um, I'm trying to stop bread. That's one thing, and that's so hard for me because I love bread. I'm addicted to bread. So maybe I need a bread alternative because I don't think I can give bread up. I don't think I'm capable of giving up bread, but um, there's a lot of things that I'm trying my best to do better about. And one of them has been um, getting active because I honestly want to be a good example for my family. about health. And a lot of times we don't have good examples and role models of, of health. We don't have good examples. Like, I didn't see my parents and other people in my life, going to the gym, exercising, drinking water, getting proper nutrition, going to the doctor, focusing on their mental health. I didn't see those things growing up, but I definitely, as an adult, you can't just say, oh, I didn't get that, so I'm not going to make any changes, because that's what will bring you like some harm physically when you get an illness, or things like diabetes, high blood pressure, things like that. It's not good. Not saying sometimes we're predisposed to those things because of genetics, but I do think that we can make better choices. You know, instead of having that cake and pie, how about having some fruit? And how about going for a walk instead of driving everywhere, or biking, getting active, getting out there. And that was something that was definitely new for me. Hey, Wellness with Virgo Mama, how are you doing? Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. How was your day? So that's something that I'm working on. I always said that I wanted to be a good role model when it came to um, mental health and education, because in my family we didn't have a lot growing up. We grew up not having a lot, but it doesn't mean that you can't be a lot. You don't have to have grow up with wealth to develop a wealth mindset. You know, that's something that I taught myself when I got to be older. I said, I'm sick and tired of being poor in all aspects. I'm sick of having poor health. I'm sick of being angry and not knowing how to control my anger. I'm sick of eating all this unhealthy food and not being able to, fit into certain clothes, and to have all these issues because of the past and what people said to me. But, at the end of the day, all of that is up to us. The way you live your life is up to you. And whatever it is, okay, where odds and evens says, what about flatbread or soft tortillas in place, or bread only once a week? Oh, that's a good thought. That is definitely a good thought. Hey, realist, how are you doing? Hi, Amory. Welcome. How are you doing? Appreciate you. Yeah, realist manifestation. Because I hear a lot of people, they talk about stuff like that. Oh, my mama didn't give me nothing, or I didn't have an opportunity like other people to get education, or you know, my whole family, we're all overweight. Okay, but now as an adult, what are you doing to change that? I definitely didn't grow up with no whatever silver spoon in my mouth. Definitely didn't grow up rich, financially, but I feel like now I'm the one that had to make a choice to shift my life. I was like, I don't want to be working in fast food my whole life, and I'm not coming for nobody or telling anybody like that's a bad thing. But those are some of the things that a lot of my relatives did, their whole life. All they ever did was, do things like that, work in fast food, or do things that you don't really use your intellect, instead of like doing jobs that's physically taxing on your body, you know, if that makes any sense to anybody. Sometimes we do things that's physically taxing when all you have to do is, if you use your mind and if you got some education, you could be able to sit at a desk, or being able to just have a better financial situation. And that was not something that was honestly supported with, how I grew up. It was just about survival. And don't get me wrong, y'all. I'm all about the survival. When you have to survive, you got to do what you got to do to take care of your family. But I don't feel like you should do that your entire life. You know what I mean? You do that for a time, but then when you get to be older, when are you going to be like, I'm sick and tired of being poor? I got sick and tired of counting coins. Got sick and tired of being the employee. I was like, I want to sit down and I want someone to bring me coffee instead of bringing somebody else coffee. You know what I mean? I want to be able to have a nice car or a nice home. But, you can't manifest those things and have those things unless you put in some work to be able to have that. And the majority of people do not put in the work to be able to have the things that they want. They see other people having things and that's it. And they stay in that space of jealousy, bitterness, anger. You know, they're traumatized from the things that happen to them. And I get it. I can dig it because that's how I grew up too. I A lot of traumatic things happened to me, a lot. But, I had to say to myself, I want better. You know, I wanted different. I wanted to be happier. You know, I wanted to be at peace. I wanted to have joy. I wanted to have good friendships. I wanted to be able to start tasks and to accomplish them. I wanted that for myself. And a lot of people think that that's something impossible because when you don't have that growing up, it seems like it's impossible, right? And it does. It's hard. I'll tell you all that. You know, I cried a lot of tears to get to the space of being happy. I spent a long time being miserable. I spent a long time complaining about your life and that things aren't the way that you want it to be. But then at the end of the day, what are you doing to improve your life and to make it better? But you know what? Everything's up to you. Absolutely everything is up to you. It's about a positive mindset. It's about having a focus in your life and making better choices, you know? And a lot of people don't make good choices. Hi, Ann. Yeah, people don't get taught how to make money or chase after certain people, yet they develop all sorts of ways to achieve that, right? But, it's all up to us at the end of the day if we want to improve it. See, one of my favorite motivational speakers is Les Brown. And I always keep this thought that he says in the forefront of my mind is that you have to be hungry. And if you're not hungry, you got to get hungry. And my hunger is not going to be yours. Okay? It's not. My hunger is not going to be your hunger. The things that you're excited about is not going to be the things I'm excited about. But at the end of the day, we can use like somebody else's life as an inspiration for us. We can all be inspired by somebody else. I'm not telling anybody you have to be like me. You don't have to be like Marlene, but be inspired by me, Even after a hard day's work, the easiest thing to do is be like, I'm tired, and just go home and lay on the couch, eat some potato chips, drink a soda. I'm saying, I'm being honest and transparent because that's what I felt like doing. But instead, I put on my sneakers and I'm here going for a walk. It's, it's healthy, it's a lifestyle. People talk about all the time about a diet, but nobody is talking about a lifestyle. You have to change your lifestyle to change your life. And that's all that it is. The majority of people don't make lifestyle changes. Hey, Toya Renee, how are you doing? Welcome. So, you know, that's what it is. The majority of people do not make good decisions. And that's a problem, you know? Major problem. So I just said, what other people choose to do, that's not my business. I honestly don't care what other people have to say. I honestly don't care what other people think because at the end of the day, I'm the one having my bills. I'm the one that has to live in my skin. I'm the one that was unhappy, you know? And I was the one that had to say, I'm sick and tired of my life. I also said at one point, I'm sick and tired of being fat. You have to get sick of something before you can do something about it and change it. I'm going to take you guys to the bridge and I'm going to take you back. Hey, Nate, how are you doing? So that's what it was for me, to be honest. I had to get sick and tired of my situation. I had to get sick and tired of not having money. I had to get sick and tired of people backstabbing me before I said, okay, I don't think I want to get backstabbed anymore. I don't think I want to trust people. They have proven that I can't trust them. Okay, guys, here we are at, this is the bridge that takes you over to Snell Island. One day when I'm in the car, we'll drive over there, but I'm just going to take you and show you the view and then turn around and come back. Because it's busy right now. People are coming from work. But that's the bridge. So, honestly, that's what it took for me. Until you want better, you can't get better. And for me, to be honest, it wasn't until I wanted better before I could do better. So that's where we just came from. We walked all that place, came all the way back around. And as you can see, here on the bridge, and I'm going to turn around and go back in the other direction. Exhausted, guys, but it's a good exhausted. The view here is beautiful. Nate, thanks for dropping links. I really appreciate you. So look how pretty it is, guys, right here on the water. Busy time of the day. So if you can look over there and you can see like where that bridge is, Over there is the other side of St. Petersburg. When you go down to the Vinoy and the pier, which I've brought you guys there a million times, you can see down that street all the palm trees. We'll go there another day. But anyhow, you know. So we are, you know, doing better. We're working on a positive mindset and a focus and being our best self at all times. That's something that I had to learn, that it was okay for me to shift my life. It was okay for me to be positive, and it was okay for me to give myself permission to not be like my ancestors. You know, you don't have to be like your mama, your dad, your uncle, your cousins, people in your life who are lazy and they don't care. Your life isn't going to be different if you're not different. Quote me on that one. You can quote me on that one. Your life will not be different until you are different. Not until you make different choices, hang around with different people, develop a different mindset and focus, and be positive. Because if we are not positive, nothing can shift. It doesn't matter what you've been through in your life. Until you become positive, you have to get positive. You have to get focused. You have to have a plan, you know? You gotta have a plan. You gotta have a plan. Everybody, what is the saying? He who fails to plan has already planned to fail. So I keep that in my mind all the time to rework the plan, to make changes, and to be patient with myself and know that that's okay. You know, that's what I had to do for myself. I had to speak over my life. I had to speak hope over my life. You know, when you feel like there's no hope in your life, or you feel like people don't believe in you, you got to believe in your dream. You got to develop your why. And you got to be strong. You know what I'm saying? It's not just going to come to you. Anything in this life that you really want, you got to grind for it. You got to grind for it. You got to hustle for it. And you got to be successful. Because I believe 100% in what is meant to be for you. It's meant to be for you. And nobody can stop it. Nobody can stamp out a dream. Nobody can stop your goals. Nobody can stop what God has for you. Nothing. But you got to have confidence in yourself. You must. Until it happens, keep trying. Keep changing the plan. Go for it. Okay? Go for it. And you know, one thing that I have to say is that don't listen to anybody when they tell you that you won't be successful. You're the one that has to believe in your success. You're the one that has to believe in your dreams. And if you don't, nobody else will. That's what determination is. You have to be determined. And you know, I'm just talking and talking about things that I tell myself every single day. You have to be determined for success. You know, you have to believe in you, even when it seems bleak, it seems dark, it seems your situation will never shift. But then just like that, it can be just like a light switch being turned on. You may be in a position and only getting rejection, getting no's, getting a hard life. But then one day, all of that can change. And one day you can just wake up and everything in your life can be amazing and great. So don't think that life can't change for you. Don't think that you can't be happy. You can be happy, but it's all about your mindset and your focus. It's all about your connection. And you have to make a choice to have a positive connection. You know? Oh, this is so pretty. It's windy too, but it feels good. Hello. But, it's all up to us. It's all up to us to be happy. And I feel like just about everybody, works hard, to take care of their families. They work hard to take care of their families. They work hard for so many things, but are you working hard for yourself? And when I really thought about that, my answer was definitely no. I don't remember the last time I did something nice or good for myself, or did something to make myself well physically, right, in my own spirits. You know, we know the things that bring us joy. We know the things that make us happy, but are we doing them? Most of the time, no. So it's all up to us at the end of the day. And that's why I say that. I say that all the time. You have to make yourself happy. You have to make a choice to smile through your situation. And a lot of people don't understand when they see me smile. It's not that I smile because I don't have problems. I smile in spite of my problems. I smile because I have hope. I have dreams. I have goals. I smile because God chose to wake me up today. It's all of those things. So I just determine within myself to make good choices. I make a choice every day to love myself. I make a choice to not give up. That's my choice. And the same thing for you all. I come on here and I talk about things. I share my life. But at the end of the day, every single person has to determine what they want to do, who they want to be, who they want to be around, what kind of job they want to do, job or career or business. And we may not be able to determine 100%, our health, but I do believe you can improve it. You can improve the quality of your life. Yes, you can. I am definitely proof of that you can change your life. Doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank. Money doesn't make you rich. It just makes you more comfortable. I always say that money just makes you more comfortable. You know, money gives you the freedom to be able to lay down when everybody else is running around. You can chill. So that's a freedom. Money gives you comforts, but at the same time, money can't love you. Money can't make you love yourself. Money can't give you true friendships and loyalty. So, in everything in life, it's about a balance. And the balance is important indeed. Yes, it is. So I think I passed the 30-minute mark. That was a bar, reels. So we're just going to stay here for 5 more minutes looking at the water. And then I'm going to get out of here. I did 40 minutes this morning, did 40 minutes again, and then I'm going to do an hour. I'm going to get on the treadmill or the elliptical later on today. So I'm really trying my best to get at least 3 hours of exercise every single day. It's non negotiable. You know, when I started saying my health is non negotiable, I don't want to look like anybody but the best version of myself, the healthiest version of myself, the happiest version of myself, the self that is the most at peace, the self that experiences closeness with God. That's the Marlene that I want to be vibrating on. I've spent enough years being the angry Marlene, the jealous Marlene, the Marlene that was lowly, but not anymore. Now I'm the Marlene who loves herself, steps outside of her comfort zone, the Marlene that is not courageous to try and start over and over and over and over and over again until I win, because that's my choice. Yeah, that's my choice. So, you know, I just want to say this to everybody: make a choice to love yourself. You know, yeah, yeah, you're right, realist. It doesn't bring you everything. It really and truly doesn't. So, I think I'm gonna get up out of here. I was trying to do 40 minutes, but I am really ready to go home and relax, be in the air conditioning, even though it's beautiful out here. I want to sit down and relax, because I'll give you guys a tip for exercise. If you come from work, don't think you're going to come from work, sit down, relax a little bit, and then head to the gym or head for a walk or head to do something. You have to do something as soon as you are finished working. I dropped off my bag and I said it's time for a walk. So that's what I want to say to everybody. Everybody have a great rest of your Thursday. I'm about to head home. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you support. This is Life with Marlene, your Florida vlogger. I appreciate every single one of you. I'll try my best to go live. What's today? Tuesday. I'll try my best to go live again on Thursday. Maybe we'll do another walk and talk after work. Peace, everybody. Peace, peace, peace.